Hey guys, how you doing? Joel Wolcott here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the paleo diet. How some are talking about how either it's good for you, it's bad for you, it can ruin your health. There obviously is two sides of the argument here. So digging right into it, just to kind of give you a brief outlook on what paleo means. A lot of people don't really understand. Anyway, so all essentially you're doing is you're taking away all of your intake of grains, wheat, barley, rye, any processed foods, any dairy foods, strictly maintaining a diet with proteins or meats, your carbohydrates. Carbohydrate sources can be vegetables, fruits, and then also your fats. You're trying to get as healthy fats as you can, so either avocados, almonds, walnuts, tree nuts. Peanuts are not, or beans, those are legumes, so those would not be considered to be on the paleo side of the diet. So let's talk about the two different sides on what the pros and cons are, or those that are for it, and those that are against it, based with scientific facts and not just opinions. So anyway, so those that are for it, research has showed that that gluten, if you do include gluten into your diet, which is or are those grains, those the wheat, the barley, and the rye, can be to a certain extent can be detrimental to your health, depending on the person. Normally, what science has shown or research is that that the gluten can actually irritate the lectins and the minerals and the bindings that's in your small intestines over a period of time. The villi that's in your small intestines has a hard time breaking down those enzymes, and can cause different, can actually trigger an autoimmune disease, such as celiac disease, which is relatively common these days. And again, the more and more research that is being done, we're seeing more gluten-free items in our grocery stores. I also believe that humans weren't just apt to process these foods. Again, they're processed. Okay, so sticking with the paleo diet, something that's natural. Okay, your natural meats, fruits, vegetables, stuff that is grown out of the ground. Anyway, without further ado, now going on the other side of the spectrum, those that are against the paleo diet, meaning that they do believe that you should get some form of processed, well, not necessarily processed, but more gluten or the wheat, and you should use it for optimal performance, especially as an athlete, for your carbohydrate sources. Some believe that you can develop a hypothyroidism, HPA, adrenal fatigue. The cortisol, or the hormone of cortisol, is increased in your body when you don't ingest or take in gluten, and this can add to potential adrenal stressors in your body, which is going to affect not either your performance, regardless if you're an athlete or you're just your everyday person. You might walk around and be generally fatigued. You might get headaches because the brain generally can only operate off of, or it can only operate off of carbohydrates. They can't operate off of protein. It can't operate off of fat. So a lot of people that go on either the paleo diet or these low carb diets and don't know how or have the education behind, generally you'll see they'll get a lot of headaches or migraines. For an example, those that went on the Atkins diet, which is really popular, they went 100% no carbs, and they were just falling over, feeling fatigued, and your brain can't operate off of nothing. So just kind of rough everything up. Paleo, do or don't. Again, it depends. A lot of people are for it, and again, more and more research that is being done, especially with autoimmune diseases that are out there. One obviously being the celiac disease, where again the villi and the small intestines, they can't break down the enzyme and the protein. Now there is research being conducted, and there are some medicines out there that if you do have celiac disease, you can take it, which actually has the 33 amino long branched amino acids that are in it that help to break down the if you were to ingest gluten. But then again, these are just tester products. They're in pill form, so again, it's still in the works. But again, the more and more research that is being done, the more and more we can see that we may need to stay away from processed foods that have a lot of gluten. And I hope you guys got a little bit out of it.